In the world of Pokemon, humanity is always trying to create something. That is how we ended up with artificial Pokemon like Muck, Porygon, Magnemite, and many more. But no scientific endeavor in the history of the franchise is as infamous or as destructive as the Cinnabar Island project. The goal seemed simple, yet impossible. Find the mythical Pokemon Mew, the ancestor of all living creatures, and clone it. The result was Mewtwo, the ultimate genetic weapon. But the history books written by scientists left something out. Science is never a straight line. Before you successfully clone something, you have to fail. Today, we're looking at hidden evidence buried deep inside the code of Generation 1 that suggests Mewtwo wasn't the first clone. The first attempt didn't result in a psychic powerhouse, it resulted in a biological anomaly. Today, we are investigating the Ditto Mew clone theory. Our first piece of evidence actually comes from the place Mewtwo destroyed himself, a journal that was found on Cinnabar Island. In the journal, it states that Mew was discovered on July 5th, and on February 6th, it says Mew gave birth to a Pokemon called Mewtwo, and just months later, Mewtwo became too powerful and destroyed the lab. But there's a massive gap between the discovery of Mew and the birth of Mewtwo. What was happening during that time period? And where did we find Ditto in the original Pokemon Red and Blue? The highest encounter rates are inside the Pokemon Mansion itself and in Cerulean Cave, the exact location Mewtwo retreated to after the breakout. Ditto aren't found in normal habitats in Kanto. They are loitering exactly where the cloning experiments took place, and exactly where the successful clone chose to hide. Ditto's location data is one thing, but when you look at the biological data in the Pokédex, it gets a little bit more suspicious. One of the many things Mew is famous for is containing the DNA of every single Pokemon. It is one of only 2 Pokemon in the entire franchise that learns the move Transform by leveling up. The only other one is Ditto. And the similarities don't stop there. Not only do both Mew and Ditto weigh an exact 8.8 pounds each, they also both have completely symmetrical base stats, with Mew's being 100 in every single stat, and Ditto's being 48 in every single stat. And even their shiny variants share the exact same blue color. Now, as convincing as all of this sounds, we have to look at it from both sides. In a 2012 interview, a Game Freak director was asked directly about this theory. He laughed it off and stated that every Pokemon is created in its own unique entity, pretty much denying that Ditto was designed as a clone. So does that mean the theory is dead? I'd say no. To me, there is just too much evidence in this theory to make it completely dead off one statement. It is entirely possible that in 1996, these things linking both Mew and Ditto together were put in place for a reason, to leave us skeptical so many years later. The world of Pokemon is such a vast and unique place that continues giving to this day. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content revolving around Pokemon, I greatly appreciate you subscribing.